Yo, what the heck's going on? Still getting used to having this other screen over here where I can draw on it. Huh? There's Baz B. Alright. How's it going? Only rational-minded people are allowed, okay? What do you mean, Gray? What are you telling me? I have a feeling it's going to be a real small crowd. We're not covering Nancy Guthrie. We're doing something else. Yeah, we're kind of stuck it right in the 50s. Pop out this chat, put it over here. So looks like I need a 5th monitor now. All right, screen's gonna go dark for a second. I think on Tuesday I'm gonna do the simulcast thing with Paramount Tactical on this, and we're just going over it again. There isn't any new news. What do you mean new news? You mean the part how they said, oh, the bullet doesn't match? Well, that one, you know, you can't match the bullet to any gun because it was so fragmented. Doesn't mean it doesn't match. It means they can't prove that it matches. You know, but I'm sure it has the same kind of metal, you know, similar to the other bullets, all the other things. Okay, James, well, if you're not interested, don't watch, you know what I'm saying? It's no big deal. No big deal. No, it is good. It doesn't matter at all. It's not, it doesn't mean anything, okay? There are many cases have the same issue. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't prove that it wasn't shot from his gun. Okay? It just means that it was so fragmented that they couldn't do that. But a lot of idiots out there, they like the Daily Mail in their title says, bullet doesn't match. That's so stupid. That's not an accurate description. They can't make. Yeah, the whole thing matches. The casing matched, the bullet. They just can't tell you that, oh, because it was so broken up into pieces, they can't make the matches on the striations of the, you know, when it was fired, etc. Doesn't mean anything. But man, look at this. Because I don't have Nancy Guthrie's name in the title, we get 70 people here. Wow. Let's see. So I'm just going to go over these again from, and then I have like all kinds of, you know, 360-degree videos that I took out there, etc. Let me see, where is that? But if you could please help support the channel, you guys, where, you know, it's just going to get really discouraging when you have 75 people and we're just, you know, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I think this is the right place. All right. Cool. Well, they're probably not even here. I'm not one of the places where everybody talks about it, you know. We did at the time, but then, you know, it's just now languishing in court. So there really isn't anything, you know, like, I'm just going over it again because I've forgotten. I mean, I don't know if I've forgotten. I just want it sharply in my mind, all the different pieces of information. All right, so Charlie Kirk, he was killed on, I think it was September 10th, 2025, at right around 2, I think it's, let me see, I got the time right here, 2:23:28, I have it. It's also reported 2:23:30, you know. I'm basing my time on the Bartholomew video, but I mean, it's close, right? I mean, might even be, I might even have it now at like 12:23:29, so it wouldn't be shocking if it was 12:23:30. Yeah, Candace Owens is nuts. Okay, I mean, that's all there is to it. There isn't like, well, Gray, she just has a different. No, she is a crazy person. All right, there isn't a second option. All right, so this is the this one came from the sheriff's department. I remember this was first, and I actually have. Let me see where I put that thing. It might be interesting to listen to that sheriff's press conference that he gave. And I had downloaded it, but it doesn't seem to be in the folder currently. Let me look over here. Hey, thanks, Betty Black. I'll just get it really quick. There it goes. Yeah, right there.
That information and just saying.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. That first sheriff, he said some really interesting stuff, and it just never really made it into like the main. It was just the other press conferences. All right, there we go. It's downloading into there currently. Thank you, Betty Black and Alley Cake. All right, so this is the one that was put out there by the sheriff's department. Said the following information was obtained by your affiant from police officers, multiple video records. Recording. Let me see actually if this was the sheriff's department. Yeah, Utah County Sheriff. Yeah. University campus surveillance cameras and those who witnessed the incident. On September 10th, 2025, Charles James Kirk was at the Utah Valley University UVU campus in Orem, Utah, for a political event. Mr. Kirk is a conservative political activist who was scheduled to speak at the event in the courtyard area on the UVU campus. And that is right down here. And I actually have this tent and everything I put on the Google Earth, and it's exactly in the right position. All right, so that's exactly where the tent was, and the shooting took place from right here, and just straight down, boom, just like that. I'm not going to show the video and all that crap. It's just people have seen, plus you can't really show it on YouTube anyways, but everybody's seen it. All right, so anyways, Mr. Kirk is a conservative political activist who was scheduled to speak at on the campus there, and then Charles was wearing a white t-shirt and dark pants, sitting under a white canopy in a courtyard in the campus facing to the east. The event was attended by hundreds of individuals. Charles was surrounded by people with multiple individuals to his left, right, and rear, and front of the canopy. Behind the canopy was a walkway used for access to various parts of the university. Charles was holding a microphone and speaking to the crowd. While speaking into the microphone, a loud gunshot was heard at approximately 12:23 hours. All right, well, we can go over here, and this is, so, I mean, I did a lot of work on this case. This isn't one that, you know, I mean, I literally, just like all the other ones that are the ones I really focus in on, this one I did a lot of work on. So the Bartholomew sent me, he kept putting out, see right up here, it says that his video started at 12:04. You see that? But that's like 12:04 and what? You know, like how many seconds? 12:04, you know, then there's 60 seconds in there, right? So that's a lot of, you know, that's a big period of time. Not a second, I mean a minute. It's 12:04, so we don't know what the seconds were. All right, which is, for me, that stuff's important. You know, how many seconds? All right, so then he looked into his file, and right here it says the original 12:04:20. So boom, now we have that his video started at 12:04:20. I don't have the, you know, there's 30 frames in a second, so you can be off by about a second. But I don't know that. We don't have that level of detail, but it's 12:04:20. So then in here, his audio started before the video. So you have, and then I counted, it goes right here, there's 0.28 seconds before, or 27 seconds, so almost a second before any video started. And so, you know, if you subtract, go backwards, you have 12:04 and 20 seconds. Like, see, look at 27, 26, 25, you know, you can't see it on the screen, but see how that goes, 12:04. Let me make it bigger on the screen. Yeah, see how that says 12:04:20 and 27 seconds? Because that's the offset where there's audio and then the video starts up. So 12:04:20, I would have it here, but it could have been 12, you know, like 12:04 and 20 and 26 seconds or so. Don't know. I mean, 26 frames. I mean, so it could have been 12:04:20 and, you know, 19 frames. We don't know that level of detail. However, you know, we do have, now we have in the seconds. So when we go all the way over to when the gunshot happened, I think it's, yeah, he's interviewing people. Let me just go all the way over there. So he's talking to, I always remember this one guy right here. So here we go.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you.
Are you gonna go down and see the, get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just, there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camp. And they just moved.
What was that?
See that? So if you go right when there's like the, if you zoom in on the fire, the sound of it, so it's like right here, it's 12:23, 28 seconds and 20 frames. See that? See that right there? Right there. So that's where I figured out the approximate time. You know, they have in, you know, like Wikipedia and other places, it says 12:23:30. Okay, you know, we're within a second. But I like to get things as precise as possible. Now, I can't be exact because, like I said, it could have been, his program might be 12, like it started at, what did he say again? 12:04 and 20 seconds. Now, if there was like 19 frames there, now we're getting close to, you know, 12:23:30 on the shot. You know, closer. So it's like we're right there within a second or so. We just don't have the frame. So you almost, if you want to be precise, you have to have the exact frame count too. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's go down here. Charles was holding a microphone, and then it says that right around 12:23, he was shot. And Charles appeared to have been hit in the neck. Blood was seen coming out of the left side of his neck as he fell over to his left. Charles was transported to the Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem. Charles was pronounced deceased at the hospital. Investigators reviewed the Utah Valley University surveillance cameras. While reviewing the surveillance cameras, investigators observed, and thanks up there, Wild Bill Wassman, and yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Investigators reviewed the Utah Valley University surveillance cameras. While reviewing the surveillance cameras, investigators observed an individual on the rooftop of the Losi Center building on the UVU campus at the time of the shooting. Hereafter, the unidentified individual will be referred to as suspect. Based on surveillance camera footage, suspect appeared to be a white male with dark-colored hair, wearing a dark-colored hat, sunglasses, a long-sleeved black shirt with a picture of an American flag and an eagle printed on the shirt, dark-colored jeans, and a white-gray shoes with white-colored shoelaces. The shoes appear to be consistent with Chuck Taylor Converse-style shoes. Suspect is also carrying a dark-colored backpack on his back. The suspect walks with a distinctive gait. Prior to the shooting, the suspect appears to walk with a stiff right leg and at a relatively slow pace. So, you know, the part about when he's going up the stairs, you know, I think this is all the way back on the 12th, maybe the 13th. Not sure exactly the date that they came out with the, this might be right. Yeah, there you go, right here. So these images, right here, so they released these images. And it's interesting, if you play it quick enough, it almost looks like you can watch the video. Watch. Ding, 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 ding. You know, and then he goes up the stairs. See? Just like that. So that's, I have all this stuff dialed in. I know where every single one of these exactly is and everything. So this image right there, he goes down, then he's in the tunnel right now. Then he made it through the tunnel. Now he's walking up the stairs to get up to the street level from the parking garage. And he's coming up right there. But just imagine, this video is crystal clear, and this video here will also show that he's got a stiff leg and he's limping up the stairs. You know, that's why it would have been cool if they would have shown it. You know? So I think the rifle kind of goes down and it sort of goes to his knee, so he can bend his knee a little bit, but it's tight in there. And it could even be behind, like some people think might be behind his leg. But hey guys, can you guys please help support the channel tonight? My channel relies on you guys. Hopefully we can cover other cases other than Nancy Guthrie and have you guys still support the channel. Is there any chance we could get that done tonight? We're currently at 1/40th of the nightly goal. My channel relies on the people watching to support it. All right. So there you go. You have, I just showed you those. And let's go to the next page. So like his pant leg was restricted, his leg movement was restricted. Investigators were able to track suspect's movements to the UV campus starting at 11:50 hours on 9/10/2025. At approximately 11:50 hours, a UVU surveillance camera first captured suspect walking across a grassy area north of Campus Drive at approximately 800 West. The suspect walked south through the parking lot and approached a pedestrian tunnel. And so I had already determined that the image was in a tunnel before this all came out. I took this image, I think it was this one, right here, and went all around the campus and found that location. And so I was the first person to report that it was a tunnel. Hey, thanks, Sazef. Before entering the tunnel, the suspect paused at the top of the stairs. And so they have this all on camera, by the way. So when you look at this right here, see, he's going to be standing right there. And that camera is way clear. I'll show you what they've got later. Okay, I actually went there, put a 360-degree camera and all the locations where all the cameras are. And it shows you exactly what they can see. We just don't get to see that yet. What are you talking about? Yeah, we're looking at it right. It's just still frames. They didn't release the video. They released still frames. Tonight's definitely going to be one of those nights where we're going to need a few challenges to try to make it. Hey, thanks, Betty Black and Sazef. All right, the suspect walked south through the parking lot and approached the pedestrian tunnel and runs underneath Campus Drive. Before entering the tunnel, the suspect paused at the top of the stairs and pulled out what appeared to be a cell phone from his right pocket. Using let me just tell you something. If you're coming in here and you're in here from the perspective of Candace Owens, she's been feeding you a bunch of bullshit for months. Okay, if you're in here and you're, a rational-minded person that's been following the case like a sane human, it'll make sense to you. So there isn't video. There is video, right? But these are still frames from the video. They were just looking for help identifying the person. So this is what you got. He's at the top of the stairs. He goes down into the tunnel. Then at the end of the tunnel, you take a right, and then another quick little right, and then you go up these stairs. And then this, look at, you can see this. 1, 2, 3. That's almost video right there. It's just, it's like 1 frame a second. But there it is. He goes right around the corner. That's him. This person right there is exactly the same person as this person. Notice the shirt and everything. He's just farther down there. All right, so there's no doubt about it or anything like that. Nobody's confused. No, I haven't seen it. Why would I have seen it? It hasn't been released yet. I have a 360-degree video that I created in exactly the same spot, so you'll be able to see what it looked like, though, right? You have to stick around to check it out. At approximately 12:02 hours, the suspect was recorded walking, I think we already, on the north side of the Losi Center building. All right, so that would be, in this case, he's right, if I move it around, it's like this. So the north side, that means they have him walking like this, and they have him, I believe they have him walking in the front right there. And then he's going to go into the building. And I've recorded all of this too. I don't know why you need the answer to that question. It's weird. It's a strange question. Nobody has the video. They do. All right, so that's at 12:02 you see him walking in front of the building, and then at approximately 12:15 hours, and by the way, while he's walking in front of the north side of the building, he has the same limping gait that he had when he was in the tunnel and going up the stairs. The suspect entered the Losi Center building through a set of doors on the southeast corner of the Losi Center building. At about 12:15 hours, the suspect was observed walking up the stairs that lead to the common adjacent to the common area adjacent to the Losi Center building. So it says suspect was observed walking up the stairs that lead to the. That's pretty interesting. Okay, the suspect walked to a short concrete wall that separates the common area from the rooftop of the Losi Center building. All right, so I'm going to throw this 360-degree video in here. I know it's the first one on the 14th, right here. I just think it doesn't exist. That's why. It's not a bad thing. It's just like I'm not sure what you're. We got a lot of weird trolls that show up in here, and they try to disrupt the show by drawing attention to themselves. I was just wondering if that's what you were doing. All right, so here we are. Look at this. There's the camera. Does everybody agree? I mean, that's a 360-degree camera right there. My drone is literally right next to it. See that? And this shot right here is almost exactly the same as the one that they have. So what they have then is on their camera footage, the north side of the building is over here. So I can do the drawing now. Look at this. Right over there. And then they're going to show them walking like this across in front of the building here. And then enter into right through there into the Losi Center building. Right? You guys see that? It's going to be that clear. Then, right over here, they're going to show him walking up the stairs right over here. So you'll see him coming up the stairs like this, walking over here, and then he's able to walk all the way over to this area off the screen where, there's a fence there now, right? So he could walk right over to there. You see on this, right over here, that portion right there, and then over to there, that's where you could walk, but when we went there, they put a fence up and then a camera. So he walks right over there, he's still limping, and then he's going to jump over that wall right there, and then you can't see him anymore. All right? Right, so at approximately 12:17 hours, suspect climbed over the short wall and appeared to crouch down on the north side of the wall on the rooftop. At approximately 12:22 hours, the suspect stood up and started running across the rooftop. So, what we're looking at on this map here, let's just look at this one. Let's see, hold on a second. Right here. So see how there's a fence right there now if you went to visit there, but you could walk to here. And then there's a fence right in this. Oh, let me get rid of this crap on the screen. That's what I always forget to do. It's hard to remember. Okay, so let's start over. So after coming up these stairs right here, he comes up, and then he makes his way over to this little wall right there. And then he hops over. And in this area down in here, behind that wall, is where he put together the rifle. He took it out of his pants. He just needed to screw the barrel with the butt of the gun, and he put it together, or the stock, or whatever the hell you call it. And that's where he was positioned. So then it says, at approximately 12:22 hours, the suspect then stood up and started running across the rooftop of the Losi Center building. The notable limp that you had seen previously was absent. The suspect ran to the west side of the rooftop and appeared to scoot along the rooftop area as he got closer to the edge of the roof. At approximately 12:22 hours, the suspect laid down in a position consistent with a prone shooting position near the edge of the rooftop and appeared to be facing west in the direction of the courtyard area. The rooftop of the Losi Center building overlooks the courtyard area where the event featuring Charlie Kirk was taking place. The Losi Center building is east of the courtyard area. At approximately 12:23 hours, Charlie Kirk was shot. At approximately 12:23 hours, the surveillance then shows that suspect stood up and suddenly from the edge of the rooftop and sprinted north on the rooftop. And he doesn't limp because he's holding the gun in his hand. Losi Center building. The suspect ran to the northeast corner of the Losi Center building and approached the edge of the rooftop. The suspect placed a dark-colored item on the rooftop and proceeded to lower himself off the rooftop. The suspect dropped off the rooftop onto the grass below. The suspect ran north near the parking lot to the east of the Losi Center. At approximately 12:24 hours, the suspect ran north across the campus drive. The suspect appeared to be carrying an item whose identity is not clear from the surveillance. The area to the north of Campus Drive, where the suspect crossed over, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the university campus. So again, when we go back to this, we've seen this footage before. Let's see, I think I even have it in here. Yeah, this one. I mean, it looks almost identical. See, their camera is just a slightly different angle, but that's right where it is. And so here he is right there. Now the video starts, though. Let's see. It's way over there. See that individual? You can see him. Let me go back to the first frame of it. Let's see. 1, 2. That's the first frame. So there he is. Okay, now the place he shot from is right over there. So I would imagine this is only about 7 seconds later or so. And then there he goes. He's running behind the building over there. Can you see that? Let me get rid of that stupid... I always forget to remove the the drawing that I did. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. But hey, guys, can you please help support the channel tonight? We're having a terrible start again. I'm sorry I didn't cover Nancy Guthrie again. See, right through there, you see her running, or him running. See that right there? Look at, watch. Isn't that interesting? A lot of people don't even show you that shit, but it's right through the glass. You can see his feet running across there because he's on the other side of that. And then comes out this end right here, and then you see the shadows. And because this shadow, the area here is so bright, it blows out the shadow. That's just how it works. So that's why, like, you can see the shadow right at the beginning, and then once he gets on there, it's so bright you can barely see his legs anymore, his feet and everything. And that's just the way it works. If you have a problem with it and you just can't deal with it, then you'll always be an ignorant person. All right, it's just the truth. I mean, I don't know how to tell you any differently. Then he gets right over here. Now look at right there. So you can see when he gets over in this area, it's close. It's like close enough to the edge where you can start seeing. That's a shadow right here. This little dark area, right there. That's a shadow. See that? That's not anything that he's holding. He's got the rifle. That little dark area right here is the towel around the rifle, and then he lays it down right on the edge of the building. And then right here, he's grabbed onto the edge of the building. I think they have Tyler Robinson's DNA literally off of that ledge right there. He touched it with his hand. They have to have it. All right, and then he jumps down like that, boom. And then look at that right there. He's got the rifle with the towel wrapped around it. You can see, look at right there, this shot right there. Like people go, what rifle? What rifle? Yeah, oh, yeah, because it's wrapped in a towel, fool. Look at, see that right there? It's huge. Okay, but sometimes it's because it's so thin, the portions of it that might be sticking out, it's hard to see on camera sometimes. All right, so he jumps off again. This thing doubles up on it twice. Any chance you guys could help support the channel? We're currently at Jesus. We're at 1/12 of the nightly goal now. We're at $26. All right, here he comes. Jump off one more time. And he goes over here. And so this is all on a 360-degree camera, so they can pan around and watch it. And right there, he's got it in his arms. You can see it the whole time, What else has he got? Well, I don't know, Gray. Maybe it's got a rabbit. And then look when he's over here. He's got it off to his side, right? And then this is the part that I always found was interesting, is in this moment here, he's making sure that it swings with his leg. See this? Watch. Boom, boom, boom. He made sure of it because he's trying not to let people see that there's a different item there. Hey, yeah, I've been following what Candace is doing the whole time. I bring it up all the time. Hey, thanks, Michael. Maybe this is a rhetorical question, but without this camera view, wouldn't this have taken so much longer to find him? Well, I don't know, because they already the camera view in the tunnel is what caught him, not this one. The one in the tunnel did. Yeah, so if that camera didn't exist, his parents wouldn't have, maybe they wouldn't have came forward. They would have went like, oh, they recognized him though. And that's the reality of it. But isn't that interesting how he keeps it right against his leg there? And then right now, he's letting it kind of go out of sync. And he makes his way over here. And he's probably just freaking out like, oh my God, I got to get the hell out of here. And then he goes across the street. Right? So that video is basically over. So let me show you on this what he did. So from this video, this is what law enforcement is able to do here. They can see him come, jump off of this building right here. And they can do exactly what I'm doing right now. And thanks, Allie Cake and Wild Bill Wassman and Michael. Did he not think to check for a camera? I think he just thought he wasn't going to be recognized. He had the hat on, and, I think that's kind of what. All right, so look at, law enforcement is going to be able to see him come down right here. And then they can go like this. And then right over here, he goes, that little red thing wasn't there, but he goes right across the street, and they can watch him over here. Okay, so they haven't shown us this, but they do have this. And they can see him walk across the street, and they can see that he didn't continue over here. They can just watch that. Okay, he didn't make it. So he went into the woods there. So that immediately notified law enforcement to go check the woods. You see that? I mean, they were investigating this, and they go, oh, shit, he didn't continue on. He went right into those woods. So they go into those woods, and that's where they retrieve the rifle that he put in there. Now, the reason I think they were able to retrieve the rifle in there is because he left the screwdriver on the roof, so he wasn't able to take it apart again and just slip it back in his pants while he was in those woods. That's why he left it there. I don't think that was part of his plan originally. I think he probably would have gone into the woods and then put it into his pants again, and everything would have looked the same, and he could have got out of there. Although he did have a change of clothes, that could have just been for later. I don't know, but I think he wasn't able to take it apart, and so it might be he accidentally left. Who knows what he was doing, but he did leave his rifle in the woods there. Yeah, total idiot. He is an idiot. All right. He's no mastermind, I can tell you that. Although, the one thing that's interesting, if he hadn't have left his rifle there, and he didn't get caught on the surveillance going through the tunnel, I don't know how this would have turned out. This would have been really like just, they would have to rely on other stuff, and I mean, I think he did leave his DNA on the roof though, and I'm the one that found the handprints, even though it was in the media. People just weren't. You couldn't tell what it was. These little markers they had, these pictures they had. Anyway, so here it is. It says at approximately 12:24 hours, the suspect ran north across the Campus Drive Road. The suspect appeared to be carrying an item whose identity is not clear from surveillance. The area to the north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over consists of a grassy area. I just showed you that. So the grassy area is right over here, the grassy area, and then a wooded area. Hey, thank you so much, Aaron Sayers. Thank you very much. Right, so then the investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. So isn't that amazing? Okay, so you go back to this. What does it look like he's carrying, everybody? He's carrying, if we go back over to here, let's go to the part where he hits the ground. I mean, that one is just so obvious. What does it look like he's got in his hand? He's got a dark towel covering something that he's running with, right? They follow him going into the woods on the camera. You guys watch. When they do the trial, they're literally going to be able to go like this. And they're going to show him go over there, and he does not go anywhere over there, so they believed he went into the woods, and they went in there. And then the investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on the shell casings found within the rifle. Inscriptions on the fired casing. So they actually had the fired casing. Now I think that it keeps the casing in the rifle itself. It doesn't eject, I think. And one of them says notices bulge, and it's supposed to be like UWU. What's this inscription on? It says inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, catch," and then up arrow symbol, a right arrow symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh bello chow, bello chow, bello chow, chow chow chow." A third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." That's probably why Candace always says that. Let's see. Oh yeah, more on this page. Investigators also discovered a shoe impression on the northeast corner of the rooftop edge. Right, and I think I've seen that. When I was up there and I recorded, I put a 360-degree camera up there randomly. And I don't have it on this one, but if you zoom in over here, he has finger marks up there, and I think his foot actually steps down on this ledge right there, and they've got a shoe impression on there. Now, it's also possible they have one up above, up here. I just think that they probably have a partial shoe impression right on this ledge right there. Who's going to do the first challenge of the day, you guys? Like, people believe Candace Owens because there's a lot of really, really stupid people in our society. Scary, really. Conspiratorial. They can't think their way out of a shoebox. This is one of the most... well, I mean... I'm just going to tell you, this is one of the strongest cases in the history of true crime that I've covered. Yeah, Candace Owens is either an absolute imbecile or is intentionally trying to capitalize on this. She doesn't have there's no positive outcome for it. All right, so investigators also discovered shoe impression on the northeast corner rooftop edge of the Losi Center building. This shoe impression was located in the vicinity where a suspect climbed down from the rooftop. The shoe impression is consistent with the shoe sole characteristics of a Converse Chuck Taylor shoe. And remember, that's what he was wearing. On the evening of September 11, 2025, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted, so this is on September 11th, literally the next day, after they actually released the images earlier in the day of the person in the tunnel and walking up those stairs. A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at UVU. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance that identified Robinson arriving on the UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes, which is exactly what he's wearing in surveillance footage that we have. A black hat with a white logo and light-colored shoes when encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, early morning hours. Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with the surveillance images. But hey guys, we need your guys' support. We are currently only at 1/5 of our nightly goal again. So we're just, dumb me, try to do something different. It's just crazy. To each their own with arms. I don't own any. For those that do, train is a difficult shot. Not to be gruesome, but it was, I'd imagine, premeditated. Well, of course, yeah, he absolutely premeditated. Yeah, he completely planned it. I'm not sure if you're aware of the case. I'll go through it here. You'll see. Yeah. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to a dinner prior to September 10th, 2025, and in conversation with family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints he had. The family members stated, and by the way, thank you, Michael, again. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified the individual as the roommate of Robinson. Again, the gray Dodge Challenger, they saw him on campus driving one. He was wearing the same clothing that they observed him in on campus earlier in the morning. He changed clothes, of course, during the shooting, because he needed to wear jeans to hide the gun down the pants. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed the roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. So this is Twiggs, Lance Twiggs. He opened it and showed several, and Lance Twiggs is a transgender male who Tyler Robinson was having a relationship with. And this is, for me, is the entire motivation for the shooting by Tyler Robinson. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown. So this is how they got those. So as they took photographs of each message as they were, scrolling down the screen. The officer did. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact, Tyler stating he needed to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. I mean, he says all this stuff in messages on Discord. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact, Tyler, Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I mean, Jesus. That's exactly right. Based on the evidence detailed in the statement, I believe there is probable cause that Tyler Robinson committed the crimes of aggravated murder by shooting Charlie Kirk in circumstance that put many around him in grave risk of death, felony discharge of a firearm, and obstruction of justice for moving and hiding the rifle. So that was the sheriff's department right there. Okay? But this right here is exactly what they could see, right? And I think there's another instance when Tyler Robinson maybe was there a week before, and they might have him walking on this area right here. Hey, how come we don't have any challenges in here tonight, you guys? I mean, that's about the only way we could make goals. We're still just like at 1/4 currently. We need something. All right, I'm gonna look something up here. I think I had this other. Might be in here. Can't remember what he sent me those in. I'm just looking for some surveillance that I got. Thanks, Wild Bill. Wassman. Yeah, I'm just going to look in this folder here. See if I can just, I think just MP4 usually. Is this it right here? Let's see. Oh yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, so this is at 8:22. So they had him on campus at 8:29. So I think somewhere around this time frame, he drove by. Hey, look at that. We got Aaron Sears, gifted 5. Hey, thank you. And, wow, we had Wild Bill and then Mark Agee up there. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So this is playing right now, believe it or not. So this is, I actually, I mean, it's kind of weird if you're just watching this. I actually went there and was there for 2 days straight. And then on one of the days, I walked over to this guy's house here, and I said, I knocked on the door, and he answered. And I said, yeah, I was just looking for some, like, I think this is the house where the surveillance and the Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk. And he goes, oh, yeah, you want to come in and see it? And I was like, shit, okay. I mean, that'd be great. And then he brought me in, and we sort of watched some of this stuff. And then I didn't have any way to get the data, so he gave me a thumb drive of his own and just put it on there and said, yeah, go ahead. So this is stuff that, like, it's been out. I have it, and I don't know if anybody, I think investigators have it. But here it is. I mean, look that's the vehicle right there. All right, so I think it might be better if I bring it into, let's see. Yeah, it's right there, the full surveillance. Let me just put it in here. Right there, and then we can kind of... And then what I can do is... I can kind of just zoom in on stuff. So we'll put it about right when the car comes in. I think it already came by. Hold on. There. Right there. So there is his Dodge Challenger right there. It'd be cool if you could see it, right? And then he drives, see him through the window. And then you can see it right there. See that? You could just barely see it right through there on that camera. And then you can even see it slightly right through on the edge right here. And then it goes by and drives away. Now, I don't think it turned right, though. Because I think you could see it right over here. So it went straight up. So that kind of keeps my parking, the parking area that I think it is. Oh, there's a challenge up there? I didn't see it. Did I miss one? I got a different window open today. I don't get it. Oh, Aaron. Oh, there was... Was that a challenge? Let's see. I'll do... Oh, Aaron said he'll do a 5 for 5. Oh. Well, thank you. That was cool. And then... Mark matched it, and then Aaron did it. Okay, cool. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I guess I missed that part. Well, thank you guys for doing that. Yeah, I didn't catch it. All right, so that was, you know, at 8:20... How come it's cut off over there? It's weird. Does it make, is it too... Hold on. Oh, I see, because I'm using a different... Alright, that's the full video there. I was using a different size, the wrong size. So, there you go. So let's see if you can even see the car further back then. Yeah, so there it goes. Boom. He has like 3 cameras in a small little area. Okay, that's 8:23, and then it goes to 8:23 and 28 seconds, and then it goes all the way to 9:50 something here, 57, and there you see him walking. So remember how they described him. So let's go back to the documents that we were just looking at. I think it was in this one. Oh yeah, I think it was right near the end of this where it said, interview the roommate who stated, I think it's the page before. Ah, see, there it is. Dodge Challenger, approximately 8:29 on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in plain maroon. So here it is, listen. He's observed in plain maroon t-shirt, light colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light colored shoes. All right, so just remember that right there. So this is at 9:57, right? So this isn't the time frame that they're talking about. This is, I believe, that this is a dry run that he did. Now look right through there. Maroon shirt, black hat, and light shoes. And he had, let's see, it says white logo, colored shoes, and it says maroon t-shirt, light colored shorts. So those are, you know, pretty light. I mean, it's hard to, you know, when you, I mean, why not just try to come up with a color? They just had them on a different camera. This one right here is... And he's got the maroon shirt, the black hat, white shoes. All right, and he just came from where his car came from. Now, I wouldn't classify those as light colored, but, you know, that part is, right? So when the sun hits it differently, you get a different look to it, right? And look at his legs. We actually all thought that he was wearing some damn, you know, leggings that are white, but you can clearly see right there that those are his regular skin tone, right? In the shade there, right there. I mean, that's just crystal clear. See that? But then as soon as the light hits it, he has so little tan on him that you're like, whoa, what's going on with those legs? And then he just keeps walking all the way over, and you can see him walking for a long ways. Here, watch this. Yeah, there he is. He's just still walking and walking. And that's, you know, right from their driveway all the way down the straightaway. Hey, thanks, Richard Watts, Wild Bill, and Alley Cake again. Yeah, appreciate it, you guys. We're almost at 50%. And see him, he's way over there. And then, you know, just the way pixelation and everything, you can sort of see him. There's this person that stands up right over there. It looks like, anyways. Then he continues on. You still see him moving right over there. And now he's out of the picture. Now let me just see that if that's a person. No, that's not a person. Yeah. I mean, it could be. It's just I don't know what that is. But anyway, see how he's walking? When you play it fast, you can actually see it better as he's going by. And then, so up in the air, that would be, it's not a long ways, because it's just this straightaway right here. And then he starts walking, and then he eventually goes off the camera over here. Does that make sense? Thank you, Stephen Connerly. But I have this case dialed in like I don't think anybody else does. I mean, it's just like I've got the footage, I've got everything. It's just, I mean, other than law enforcement. All right, so we are back to... All right, so now I'm going to go over the other document that came out. It was like the charging document, which is by the state. And that one is way better. Well, it's different. It has some stuff that's... like they try to say, oh, he reached down, he dropped the item he was carrying, and he reached down. That's just not true. He dropped his sunglasses, and he put them on his head. I hope they fix that. It's not a big deal. It's just he didn't reach down to pick up the gun or anything like that. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, which video is this? Oh wait, it's on this page. It's just way over here. All right. So let me show you this part here. So just watch this. Can you guys see that pretty good? So look at he's right up at the roof and he grabs the rifle. See it swinging around? Like, what do you think this is right there? I mean, it's just this long thing in the air there, which if you couldn't see what I was saying, it's right there. This thing, right? And then he swings it down, and then look at he's got it. He's holding it right. I would say right after the butt, like right before the trigger area, he's grabbing that thin area there. And he's swinging it down, and then look, he then lowers himself a little bit. Both his feet are on that ledge there. And then he jumps, boom, hits the ground. All right, now watch. He doesn't drop anything. I mean, I guess the reason they say he dropped something is watch. Then right there, he reaches down and picks something up. Okay, but we already can see that he's got the gun in his hand right there, right? So he's got the gun in his hand right there. This huge item right there. See that? I mean, it's just it's like it's so obvious. And then he reaches down and picks something up. Well, somebody observed on one of my shows a long time ago that was probably his glasses. And man, you can just absolutely tell that. Watch what he's doing over here. Watch. See his left hand right there? That left hand has his glasses in it. And watch what he does here. Watch. And you have this. Okay, this is going to be with the second playing of it. So let's go on. Let's use this one. They do it 3 times. God, I wish they just would have just released the damn video and don't edit it the way you want it. Like, hey, here's, just let people do what they want. Okay. So here it is. I actually think you can see the glasses. See that little dark area? I mean, it's kind of crazy, but look at that. Boom. And then look. You'll see it. I think he reaches up right there, and he's putting the glasses on his head right there. See that? That's what he's doing in that video. Right there, even. Come on. Okay. So now it's all the way over. I can watch it. See, and he's working. He finally puts it on his head again, and now he's moving forward. Right? See, that's what he was doing there. He was putting the sunglasses on his head. This was an interesting case to put put it all together. All right, now here is the Tyler Robinson charging documents. This one has some interesting stuff in it. I'm not going to do the charges. I'm just going to go down to where it starts talking about what happened. Okay, so it does start right here. Turning Point USA, a non-profit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held. Let me zoom in a little bit. Make it bigger for you guys. Thank you, Jessica Schuba. Okay, Turning Point USA, a non-profit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held at noon on September 10th, 2025 at UVU. The event was the first in a series of similar events to be held at college campuses nationwide. I'll just skip down here. The event at UVU was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest, and that's what Tyler Robinson, knew that it was coming. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk so several hundred people attended, and then Mr. Kirk was interacting with the crowd before the event officially got underway. Then, approximately at noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind a table and microphone. He began speaking to the crowd and fielding questions from attendees, a format Mr. Kirk commonly used at his events. Well, that's pretty much all he did, really. I mean, Mr. Kirk allowed his questioners to approach a microphone positioned directly in front of him. So there was only 2 people that asked questions. The second one is when the shooting happened. Mr. Kirk's team members were very close to him on his right and left, as well as some behind his canopy and others at various close locations near him. The large crowd surrounded Mr. Kirk on 3 sides. The temporary metal fencing separated attendees from Mr. Kirk by only a matter of feet. Directly above and behind Mr. Kirk was the UVU Hall of Flags, and that's where we got that one video on the roof of him moving away after the shooting. I'm sure law enforcement has a better one than that. Hey, thank you, Aaron Sayers. Approximately 15 minutes into the event, Mr. Kirk was answering a question about a mass shooting by transgender individuals. I mean, that is incredibly ironic. When a gunshot rang out, the bullet struck Mr. Kirk in the neck. He slumped to the ground almost immediately. The bullet trajectory passed closely to several other individuals beside Mr. Kirk, not behind, including the questioner who was standing directly in front of Mr. Kirk. Children were visible near Mr. Kirk's stage when he was shot. Mr. Kirk was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was declared deceased. The medical examiner report is pending. All right, and then this is the surveillance stuff. This was the stuff that I think is interesting. Unfortunately, you know, it's like, I don't know why there's only 125 people here. This seems like this would be more interesting, but it's not. I'm not selling the bullshit, so it's just, you know. And it sucks. It's like, you have the truth, and nobody wants to hear it. And the people that don't have the truth have thousands and thousands of people. Do we have another challenge coming up? Is there another one? I'm not getting you're not doing the thumbs up thing. You know? You know the part where you do the little look at. I don't, yeah, that's how I'm able to tell. What are the challenges now? Is there one up there? Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I don't know which one you... There's no look at. Oh, you just made it? Okay, cool. Thank you. What's the... Yeah, I can't see them on the screen. I don't have the... There's no look at. You guys usually type that in. But thank you. Oh, there it is, way up there, I guess. Yeah. Let me. Yeah, it's hard to see because my screen's totally different now because of the this thing that I use for. I can draw on the screen. See that? You know, so it's its own window. Let me show you what it looks like. See this? Like it's gonna see itself, but it's its own window that has a small version of. I wish that was an entire monitor. It would be really cool, you know. But I don't have that. I mean, I have four monitors. Two of them are inverted like a cell phone, and then two of them are horizontal. Yeah, the bullet. When people say the bullet didn't match, you know, it's just not accurate to say that. What it is there wasn't enough information because of the fragmentation to make a definitive match. That doesn't mean it didn't match. Doesn't mean it's not the bullet. It just means they couldn't do it. All right. Normally, when you have a bullet that doesn't fragment, you can look at it and compare the striations on the side and match up to the rifling of the gun. But when it breaks up into a whole bunch of parts, you're not able to do that. You know, it's too mangled and, you know, just, I don't understand why that's confusing for people. It's weird. It's weird stuff. Anyways, thanks up there, Lisa, for that challenge. All right. So we're at the surveillance part, which is this is the part that I like. At the moment of the shot, UVU police officer was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. And I think he was actually standing right, let's see, where is this? He was right back here on this roof. I remember seeing him behind the screen on a shot. So where he was, he could literally see all the way over there, you know, because the shot came from right up there. So if he was standing on this deal, there's where the shot came from, way up above. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats. Believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound, he looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing. And remember, Candace Owens was talking about, man, you have to be like a gymnast to be able to... It is the easiest thing in the world, okay, to get there. Here, let me just show you. I think my very first video, I did it. I walked all the way from basically see this place right here? This is, I think he may have parked right here. This is an incredibly, it's just perfect place to park originally when he went there to do his dry run. And then after his dry run, he drove up to this street, turned left, and parked at the end of that street. Okay, it's crazy. Look at this spot right here. There's no cameras, there's no windows or anything. There might be way over there, but that's about it. All right, so anyways, let's just go all the way to campus. I'm going to pass up on all the whole walk. All right, so now we're in the parking lot where the tunnel is. So watch this. Yeah, Daily Mail's headline was bullshit, and people like Candace Owens, we were right. You weren't right about shit, Candace. You guys are going to be you're an embarrassment. All right. So right here is the tunnel that he's in. And apparently he was on his phone right in this area. Yeah, so I'm at the top of the stairs, right there, right? You can see there's the... And look, there's the camera. See that little white thing there? So this area that we're standing in right now is exactly that the same area that I had in the image that I was showing you. Let's go back and open those up again. That was on the, what is the 14th? Or no, the 13th, I think. 13th under stills, and then this one. So look, check it out. It's interesting just watching this. See that? I'm standing right there. Okay? So in this video, I'm standing at the top of the stairs, and that camera that you see right there is filming this shot right there. All right? So then we go into the tunnel, and then watch this. Picked him up. This feels exactly what it looked like on video. Yeah, it felt like I'd been there before when I was... And it's kind of dark in this area, so I think that the shot is right here. Yeah, right here, in this area. See these little dots on the wall and all that? Right there, see that? And then I'll just go back a little bit. But right there is a camera. See that? I mean, I could go back to the beginning here just a minute ago and show you this from the top again. Not there. That's not what I meant. Was it way over here? Oops. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so this is about to go through the tunnel. So I'll show you this again. And apparently he was on his phone right in this area. So look, for a while, just like that. And so right there, camera. Right there is this. See that? In fact, look at this right here. Watch. See this right there on the... I'll try to draw on it. Look at this. Well, you can see that too, but let's go on right there, there, and there is the lower three are let's see. I think it's like this one. No, it's hard to make it out, but what I can see on, like, right there, you can see that dot, and that's this one and this one. And then I think this hole there is this one. Okay, so it's kind of like if I was going to draw, you know, this one here is this one, and then this is there, and then this is here. This one you can't see because it's too high. All right, there you go. Hey, thanks, Aaron Sayers. All right, so there we go. We're walking into the tunnel. Does everybody agree now? Yeah, oh my God, you're right. And that means that he is absolutely on video. He's on video this whole time, actually. So that camera that we were just looking at is a 360-degree camera. So that means it can film him from behind limping. You get it? I mean, it's going to be crystal clear. And then right when he gets about here, you can just pick him up on the other camera if you want. You can probably still see him on the other one. But
the hat is right here.
Now look at right
against this wall.
Here. If we turn around, look at this right there. Boom. Now watch this. Boom chakalaka. And that line right there is this line. I would almost guess that, let's see, does it have the same? It could be that this one is that right there. See that? And there would be a line right through there. And then, let's see, 1, 2. It could even be, I'm sort of seeing something here that I think, like this right there is right there. And then that one is right there. And then there would be a line through here. Because see how there's that, you know, right there, boom, boom. That looks like this. See that? Like there's one there and there. And then a little bit of smudging there. Then that little lighter one right there. Yeah, that's it. That is it. That is it. I mean, look at that, you guys. I mean, that's cool. That's cool as hell. Look at this. Look at that right there. Oh, man. Yeah, it's right there. This area right there is right here. And then, let's see. Yeah, and then this one is that one. Q, can I get a boom chakalaka? That was pretty good. Yeah, so that's him walking right there. And then there's the camera that filmed him, right? So here we go.
You can see there's a camera there.
And then he goes right around the corner and then straight up these stairs. Here. Okay, so I'm going to stop it about right here and then turn around. And so that is, I'm going to go back to the, and go to this one first, and then now the very next shot is him coming up these stairs. See? He's right there. And you can see the that garbage can is right there. And, you know, he's going up the stairs. And then you come up here, you come around this corner here.
Right up in here, there's a camera.
So I think if I just went back a little bit, yeah, that's not where I want to go. Yeah, right here, that's a good way to look at it. So see this, and then ding, ding, right there. That's right there. That area is where he's about to go around. And then this shot here is good. You can see that right there. That's going around the corner.
Right up in here, there's a camera. Up. And then this way.
Hey, thanks, Citizen E. You don't get enough credit, dude. Appreciate your work for sure. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I actually feel like that too. I don't know what the deal is. Oh well. It is what it is, I guess. Right, then he comes up here, and then basically this whole walk, I'm just gonna show you. It's just walking, Yeah, I just came out over there, right over there. And then he walked like this, limping the whole way.
Just kind of
right?
a road where deliveries were made to the school for trucks.
Right, and then I'll just kind of move it forward a little bit. And so right around in this area, I think this is exactly how he went. Something just like this. He went up, he wants to avoid having to go up as many stairs as possible. And so notice how there's no stairs currently, right? Like if he'd gone over there, he would have had to walk up those stairs having the rifle in his pants. Now he could go up these stairs, and I think that is what he did. Just a really short amount there. Thank you, the moon made me do it. You like my voice? All right, cool. And then right to here. And by the way, me and Paramount Tactical, we're going to do a show on all of this coming up. And that way we can use our footage, his footage, you know, just really dial it in for all the people out there. That I think on Tuesday. And then look at, see how there's hardly any stairs at all that he had to go up? Because of that technique. You know, over there, there's another way to come up. It'd be back over here. There's a ton of stairs you have to go up. And then you just walk up here. This is the Losi Center building. Right in there. And I'm going to show you how absolutely simple it was for Tyler Robinson to get on that roof and shoot. And I'm proud of myself. I keep saying roof. I don't know how that accidentally started saying roof. I used to say roof, and people said, what are you saying roof? That's like a dog bark. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. And so here it is. This is the Losi Center building. The weird part is like, I think the president of the school or somebody was right in there. And look at this. So this is the spot right there where Tyler jumped off. And even right there, you see this, the tape for the crime scene right there. He jumped off right there. So we're looking at this right now. Now watch this. Okay, we're at 1744. Go back to this. And then let me go to here again. Right there, boom. So right now, I'm walking right there. Okay? So just picture, that's exactly what law enforcement has. Tyler Robinson's going to be walking like this. And he's going to go like that and then go through this door right there. Okay? Oops, let me go back to this. And then I got to go to 17. I go 17. Yeah, right around 17. Yeah, right around in there. There you go. So I just walked from. Let me go back to. All right, so that was where Tyler jumped off of right there. Now I'm walking in front of the building. What do you mean a Utah accent? There isn't a Utah accent. We just have none. We don't have one. All right, so right here is the door, right? So you just went into these doors here. So, you know, so that's at 12:03-ish. 12:04, 12:05, he enters the building. And then it isn't until 12:15 when he goes up the stairs. So whatever, we don't know what he was doing inside this building for 10 or 11 minutes or so. Okay, I'm just showing you what it looks like right now. And then I'm going to go out this door. And nobody questioned what I was doing or anything. This is just like, you know, you're just college walking around. And then here it is. When I got there, they had a barrier blocking people from going up because of the incident. But when I went there, I can walk up the stairs. And this is what Tyler Robinson saw, but there was nobody walking around because everybody was over at the Charlie Kirk event. So he's behind everybody. Nobody's looking at him. It reminds me, like I always say, the Lord of the Rings, when they did the little head fake to try to give Frodo and, you know, like they could sneak behind enemy lines. That's what this guy is doing. Now, when you look at it like right here, look, this fence was not there. So he could walk all the way over to this position, and then he just hops over this fence. Can you guys see how easy that is? I mean, see that little fence right there? It's not even tall. Like, this is a normal fence size. This little thing here, he just stepped over and crouched down and probably laid down at some point and put together the rifle right there. And this whole fence was not there, nor was this surveillance camera thing that they put up after the event, because of the event. Okay, so you could walk all the way out there. And then I extend the pole out, or I actually go down into, hey, welcome, Vivian. All right, I think if we need about 2.5 more challenges and we get to the minimum goal, that would get us there. All right, right there, see that? So imagine if this wasn't there, this is what it looked like. You could just walk right over to there, and the shooting took place right there. He just ran over there and laid down and shot. How easy was that for Tyler Robinson? I mean, just unbelievable. And that camera is right there, right on the top of that little corner. That's where the camera is that filmed everything. Nice picture. All right, let's see. Now we're going to get back to this. See, doesn't that just give you an incredible perspective? See, that's something that Candace Owens would never be interested in watching because it doesn't fit, you know? Doesn't fit her story. All right, let's see. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. I was just showing you that. Police reviewed the surveillance from the camera covering the roof and discovered that it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothes cross the railing from the public walkway and drop onto the roof at approximately 12:15 p.m. Although the individual moved out of the camera's view for a short time, that means he was hidden below the wall there, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof and then low crawling. So he was like crawling like this, right? He was low crawling to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspected sniper had dropped into a prone shooting position. So in this one, they are saying that the officer actually witnessed him do that. So this one says crawling to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspected sniper had dropped into. Well, I guess it's like he recognized a position, and that seems to be the same spot that this person on surveillance dipped down. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof to the northeast. The discovery led to an intense review of UVU's surveillance recording to attempt to track the identity of the suspect. Surveillance revealed the following. At approximately 11:51 a.m., the suspect entered campus from the north. He is seen wearing a black shirt with an American flag in its center, a dark baseball cap, a large sunglasses. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect keeps his head down and rarely raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face. As he proceeds across the campus, he is seen walking with an unusual gait. The suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg, consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railing off the open walkway and onto the roof, where he leaves the camera's view. So that little, he's limping all the way until he climbs over that little wall that I was just showing you guys. But hey guys, if you could please help support the channel, we got to keep on trucking, try to reach goals every single night. We are, like I said, about 2.5 sort of challenges short currently. That would be cool. All right, a camera later captures the suspect as he runs across the roof, we've shown that, to the suspected shooting position. Immediately after the shot was fired, a camera captures the suspect running across the roof carrying an item whose shape is consistent with a rifle, and that's true. The suspect is then seen climbing down from the roof. He appears to drop the item. No, but see, that's what I'm saying. He didn't. Okay. He was carrying as he hits the ground in a controlled fall. He then picks up the item. He still had it in his hand. The thing he picked up was the sunglasses. We just went over that a minute ago, right? Does everybody agree with that? So, like, they just viewed it. That's how they saw it. But I'm sure after they viewed it more, they don't think that. He appears to drop the item he was carrying as he hits the ground in a controlled fall. He then picks up the item and runs towards the northeast end of campus. Law enforcement officers followed the suspect's escape path to the northeast end of campus, where they believe the suspect left campus and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators, see, that's what I'm saying. They can see him go into there. It says, they follow the suspect's escape path to the northeast end of campus where and this is all on surveillance. They believe that the suspect left campus and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel. The rifle contained 1 spent round and 3 unspent rounds. This is consistent with the facts officers observed at the time of immediately after the shooting. So there was only 1 shot that took place. No shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting a bolt action rather than an auto-loading weapon, and only single round was fired. See? So it keeps all the, it's just absolute match there. Each round in the rifle contained an etched inscription as follows. The fired cartridge, so there was, like 4 bullets at one time, and then 1 was fired, so all there is the shell casing of that, and the other ones are 4 fully intact bullets, right? With the shell casing and everything, unfired. So it says the fired one has notices bulge, OWO, what's this? I think it's UWU though, right? And then it says second cartridge says, hey fascist, catch, and arrow symbols. The third says, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 ciao. And then the fourth cartridge says, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. The rifle ammunition rounds and towel were sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with Tyler Robinson was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. Law enforcement was unable to immediately locate the shooter, so they published photos of the shooter from the UVU surveillance cameras and asked for the public's help to identify him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continue to try to identify the shooter through other means. Yeah, so they published the photos and then they tried to identify him. They didn't know who he was at the time. On the evening of September 11, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler James Robinson went to Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend to turn himself in. So he actually went in to turn himself in. Okay, so is this all made up stuff? He didn't do this? It's crazy. Robinson's mother stated, listen to what Tyler Robinson's mom said. The following to police. On September 11, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him, see, look, and it's not only that, it's right here. It says, Robinson's mother stated the following to police. So this is all documented and recorded. All right. He said he was at home when the mother asked, where have you been and whatever. He said he was at home sick and that he had also been at home sick on September 10th. He just fills that in. Oh yeah, I was also sick on that day too. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspected shooter looked a hell of a lot like Robinson. Robinson's father agreed. Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. Becoming a pro-gay and trans rights-oriented, she stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue. Probably because, I mean, he already knew he was going there and had scoped it out and said it was stupid because he can do this. For the event, Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. So he said that, he told his parents that he thought Charlie Kirk was spreading hate, and mainly now because his girlfriend, or whatever you want to, I don't even know how you refer to these people, is a transgender female, I guess. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, so let's see, Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. I mean, how bad can this get here, It's crazy. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son in the text messages, right, and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. So remember this stuff right here. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy Charlie Kirk spreads too much hate. They talked about Robinson turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak with a family friend who is a retired deputy sheriff. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all the evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The family friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. So he probably didn't have the jeans, and that was probably in his backpack, the jeans and all that stuff, because it would have had maybe gunshot residue, etc. But hey guys, any chance you guys could help support the channel? Just trying to make things happen in here. We're trying to do something different. Going back to Tyler Robinson case tonight, it could use your guys' support. I'm sorry that I'm not covering what everybody wants to talk about. It's really frustrating. So if you guys can, I think we need about 20 more channel memberships to reach the minimum goal. So if everybody, somehow was able to do that, we'd make it. It's actually like 21. That's how far away we're at. All right, now we're at the roommate portion. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male, who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting and provided those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note, so maybe Twigs, took a picture of it and maybe wanted to send it to other people on Discord and like, what's going on? What's going on? Well, cool, Aaron. I'm glad some people do. But you guys, I love it. We just need to try to reach the goal again. I don't want to spend time trying to get there. So if you guys can do it, that'd be great. Thanks. Then let's see. The following text exchange then took place. So this is after he said, "Look under the keyboard." And I think this is absolutely a real 100% text exchange here. I don't think there's any, they're not trying to, Hey, cool. "I am still okay, my love." This is Tyler Robinson. So they've already been talking, After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" And then Robinson, who knows when this started up. "I'm still okay, my love, but I am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you." Then Twiggs said, "You weren't the one that did it, right?" And then Robinson then said, I am. I'm sorry." So this is all on Discord. He probably thought it was, going to be hidden. I thought they caught the person. Because remember, they caught that first original person. And see, this is another thing. Why would they bring that up? Why would Twigs bring this up if that was like the setup thing? "I thought they caught the other person." Then Robinson said, "No." So this is the key to me that proves that this is legit here. This next part. "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down." Thank you, Aaron Sayers. "It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." And it's weird, too, because later on, we find out that he may have talked to that person. And the roommate said, "Why?" Because see, if you go up here, Robinson said, I'm sorry." And then the roommate's Twiggs said, "I thought they caught the person." And then Robinson goes through this long thing here with a whole bunch of dumb shit in it. "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. They interrogated someone. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point." And the roommate says, "Why?" Really responding to that he did it. But Robinson, who had typed in this long paragraph here that had multiple, like, look at, "No, they grabbed this crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing." That could be what you're asking why about. "I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town was locked down." That could be what you're asking. Well, why is it locked down over there? "It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Why? Why is that vehicle lingering? So the roommate says why, and then Tyler doesn't know what she's asking why about, or he's asking why about, because he says, "Why did I do it? Why did I do it?" Right? Because he could have been asking why about all those other three things. And then the roommate says, "Yeah," because they probably didn't even read the last part. They just want to know why the hell you did it, right? So why would you put all that stuff in there, the confusion in the text message, if it was fake? To make it seem more real, Gray? Ah, Jesus. Yeah, you guys, you're too much, man. Do you guys get what I'm saying right there, though? Thank you, Vivian. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're only about 66% of the goal, you guys. You gotta keep moving. And then, you know, why? Why did I do it? Yeah. Well, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Well, that's not really true either. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it yet, though. You know, the rifle, but they did find it. How long have you been planning this? Twig said. A bit over a week, I believe. I can't get close to it. And by the way, see all these, like when there's these 3 dots, that means there's other conversation in there. They're just putting the stuff about the rifle and other information that's, you know, points to his knowledge. How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. ... So there's more stuff. I'm worried that my old man, or what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. And it says, I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed outfits. Exactly. So he went in the bush, in there, he changed outfits. He doesn't mention, though, that he, you know, wasn't able to take it apart. So that might have just been part of his plan. And that might be why he had the towel, too, just to wrap around it. He might have used the towel also to prop the gun up on when he was doing the shot. Isn't there anybody that's going to do another challenge in here? Come on, you guys. We got to get, we're just not, the way, when we have this kind of pace here, that means we're not going to make it. All right? We started off good and we were making somewhere, but we just, and unfortunately, that's what, I try to bring in income on the channel to survive. And then we also donate thousands of dollars every single month. So I need your guys' support. Wow, so many different places already. Don't know what that means. Let's see. I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have abandoned it. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. I mean, Jesus. That's exactly the deal there, right? Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. So he's even admitting what he wrote on the bullet. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Because now he realizes he can't get there. It's all locked down. And whenever I do my, you know, like, hey, you guys, it just seems like it's just... Oh, you're asking where everybody's from. Oh, okay, I didn't even know what you guys were talking about. I didn't know what, wow, so many different places already. I didn't know what that meant. Yeah, I think it might not go to, well, you know what, I think Erica Kirk wants it to go to trial, and I think they might just make it go to trial because answers need to be given. But if I would say this, if Tyler Robinson, if it doesn't go to trial, I would require Tyler Robinson to stand up, explain every single thing that he did. You know, that's what I would think. I know, this thing, he's just absolutely toast. That's why I don't really understand people. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Lossman again. Man. Thanks, Wild Bill. I know. You're always, you know, the lull buster. They should make a lure called the lull buster. You know, like, you're not getting any strikes, so you put on this one, and then BAM! You know? Yeah, it needs to be, that'd be a good way to do it, Sandy. Like, go to trial, get a lot of the evidence out, and at the final hour, don't give him the death penalty, but he pleads guilty and he gets life in prison. I like that. I think that's a good way to do that. Good idea there, Sandy. Good idea. And thanks again, Aaron Sayers. I know you've already helped out the channel quite a bit tonight. Was just kind of trying to hope other people would think that was worthy in here as well. I think. Well, I don't know what you mean by honeypot. I think Erica Kirk is a good person whose husband got killed by a psycho. I don't have any thoughts on Erica Kirk, nor do I I don't have any thoughts about like, oh wow, what's really going? Ooh. I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell people are thinking about. It's crazy. I don't do anything but defend her because there's no reason not to. No, a honeypot. Where do you come up with honeypot? Where do you come up with this stuff? Are you just joking around, or okay? How's that a good question? How's that a good question? Do you think Erica Kirk is a honeypot? No. Okay. She's just somebody that married Charlie Kirk a long time ago. They had kids together. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, we need other freaks to help out tonight, you guys. We don't have, the ones that are always here that sort of bail out the show nightly. They're not here tonight. So can the rest of you freaks help support the channel tonight? That would be great. We're just, we're still like 18 to 20 channel membership giftings away. Yeah. So what are those questions for? Can I ask you why you're asking that question? The moon? You're not one of the nut jobs, are you? And how about you, SH third, whatever the hell that number is? Are you one of the crazy people out there? Thanks, Vivian. Anyways. Down here it says, only thing I have left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets. The effing messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it, and that really sucks. And then, later on, later on, yeah, judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. See, that right there is a psycho who would say something like that. Who the hell says something like that? Judging from today, I say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I think that was a $2,000 scope. Yeah! Probably trying to get Twigs to get pumped up. And here's the thing, Twiggs could be responding because there's ... Then Robinson says, delete this exchange. Robinson then says, my dad wants photos. Remember how his dad said in the document that he contacted his son? Let's see. I think it's like, let's see, where is it? So right now we're on page 9. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle, that police suspected the shooter used, matched a rifle that was given to his son. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send him a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. Let's go down here. My dad wants photos of the rifle. I mean, isn't that amazing? Like, that matches up to that. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, and I'm not answering. That's exactly what his dad said. So not only, like his dad's conversation matches exactly what Tyler is texting Twiggs here. Don't you think that's pretty interesting? Okay, what do I need to do, you guys, to get the support so we can get to the goal tonight? It just seems like I'm just talking to nobody because I'm not getting a response. You have a broad mentality? Nah, that doesn't mean I am not crazy. Well, listen, you are crazy if you're accusing Erica Kirk as being a honeypot and doing stupid shit like that. It's absolutely idiotic. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. That means you're part of the Candace Owens crowd who believes in all this weird shit. She's just Charlie Kirk's wife. That's it. And where the hell do you guys come up with this stuff? You guys are insane. But you guys see what I just showed you there? That is incredible evidence right there. Maybe you've tried to be a honeypot before yourself, SH, so it makes it seem sort of normal for other people. But, you know, it doesn't mean that somebody else is because you've thought of it. Gosh, Gray. It means a tempting lure used to trap someone, commonly in espionage, cybersecurity, or romantic context, to catch a target, hacker, or scammer. It can describe a person used to lure others, a secure system acting as a bait, or historically a term for female, you know, forget that part. I mean, it's just ludicrous, man. Where do you come up with this stuff? It's embarrassing. I don't think they're a troll. It's just dumb, you know. What? What are you guys talking about? I don't even know. Erica is a good woman who, right? I mean, you know, she just feels the way she feels, and it sucks that she does. You know, people want to look at her and go, "That's not how I would act." So therefore, and you don't know how the hell you would act. Yeah, he is dumb, Amber. But look at, I mean, this right here was huge that I just showed you. His father contacted his son. This is what his father told police he did. He goes, yeah, I tried to contact my son and asked him to send me the photo of the rifle, but Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. So that must have been later, because down here he says, My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. Since and then it says he's calling me right now, not answering. So he must have. It was at later on the next day is when he answered. And then right here it says since Trump got into office, he says his dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Then ... So we don't know what the whole conversation is, you know. And then right here it says, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you, the Twig said. And then Robinson says, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Thank you, Aaron. Police executed a search warrant on Robinson's residence. During that search, police discovered a shell casing with etching like the etchings found on the shells in the rifle near UVU. Let's see. And then police also found several targets with bullet holes in Robinson's home. Right, and that's what I was saying. He practiced, etc. Aggravated murder pertains to Robinson's shooting and killing. So count 1, count 2, whatever. So there, just go through all the counts. And so there you go. It's just crystal. I mean, I don't know where the arguments are. You know, like when you watch people like Candace Owens, they're talking about Egyptian planes, for God's sakes. Then they talk about Trump had Charlie Kirk killed because he didn't want Trump to attack Iran or something. It's just the dumbest shit you've ever heard, man. Unbelievable. All right, what was I just about? Oh yeah, let's play that sheriff's press conference. See, that's something that a lot of people didn't ever watch this one.
We gave you 22 hours notice. You guys did a good job at showing up. You guys need mic checks? I think I have 4 on me. You guys can talk to me.
Yeah. This is like, I think he was
Anything good on mic checks? I've got 4 on me. Good? Okay. So I'm Sheriff Nate Brooksby, Washington County. Just starting with a couple preemptive things. So what I'm going to be discussing is not anything to do with the ongoing investigation. We are not the lead agency.
Every day, Candace Owens says, we're really close. It's always something totally different.
FBI, State of Utah, DPS, Utah County, UVU, big collective effort. So our involvement, I describe it as just a really long agency assist. So we're not conducting the investigation. We're not doing interviews. I've been asked some questions, and there's.
Let's see. What are we at? All right, I'll have to do my own challenge here, you guys. So if you guys do 10 channel memberships, I'll donate 5 myself. We're not even at the place where I would do it, but we gotta try to get somewhere. So if you guys do 10, I'll donate 5 all by myself. All right, is that a possibility? That's my challenge. You guys do 10, I'll do 5. I know that's like the opposite, but I'm just trying to do the shows.
Some that I'm just not going to answer. It's going to be focused on how we were able to get Tyler to voluntarily come and turn himself in at my office. That's
Come on,
that's going to be the
Bill,
scope of it.
Got to get the other people.
I do want to touch on. So I have a retired corrections deputy named Matt Robinson. There was some initial news that, to the extent of ridiculous information out there, that Matt Robinson is currently a deputy with the sheriff's office and he physically put handcuffs on his son, the suspect, and brought
Come on, everybody else, let's get the 10 in there. We got to make it.
him into jail. That's completely false. It just so happens that Tyler's father is Matt Robinson. There was some information about a retired deputy, so somehow that got blurred in the media. And
Thanks, Aaron.
And I want to make sure that we're walking that back as best we can, because Matt Robinson, my retired deputy, has been been harassed.
Why though? Yeah, isn't that amazing? Why is he being harassed?
He's had to leave his house at this point. So whatever you can do to help walk that back, I'd appreciate it. His family would appreciate that. So getting into the details. So obviously we knew Charlie Kirk was assassinated at UVU in the afternoon. About a 33-hour manhunt ensued, and I was winding down for the evening. And
Thanks, Jessica Schubach, Aaron, Wild Bill. We need 7 more, you guys.
Exactly 8:02 on the 11th, I received a call from a friend of mine who happens to be a retired detective that worked for me for many years. I didn't put that out there initially. I wanted to protect that individual as much as possible. Unfortunately, in the court documents, which is standard, he was referenced as a retired Washington County deputy. So I didn't put that out there. It was in the court docs. I was trying to protect even that information and just saying retired law enforcement in general. So I get a call from my friend, and he said, "Hey, how you doing?" Good. And it's not, he's been retired a few years. We'll call each other. It's not unusual for me to get a call from him or vice versa. And at 8:02 p.m., he calls me. Hey, I can tell his voice is kind of shaky. So my first thought is, who died? Like who's he going to tell me that died? And then I couldn't fathom what actually came out of his mouth. So he said, "Hey, I know who Charlie Kirk's shooter is. I know the family through religious association, and he's in Washington County now, and we're working on trying to get him to come in voluntarily." During that phone call, some information was provided about Tyler potentially having some suicidal ideations, was en route to a remote area of Washington County. The parents convinced him not to do that, and conveyed that they would stand by him and help him.
Yeah, I mean, see, a lot of this is in that document that we just looked at. We need 7 more, you guys. Let's have some new people that haven't supported the channel tonight. Help support.
Help him surrender peacefully.
All we need is like a $5 from 7 different people, and we're all sending 5 by myself, which is 25.
So at that point, that phone call was 1 minute and 41 seconds. I immediately called Sheriff Mike Smith in Utah County, who I knew was at the incident command in Utah County. So for about 40 seconds, I'm telling Sheriff Smith, "Hey, I'm confident we have the shooter in Washington County. We're working on getting him to come in and surrender at my office." We didn't have him yet, and after about 40 seconds, Sheriff Smith's like, wait, what are you talking about? So he was shocked, as I was, to hear the news.
6 more.
And so I repeated myself. He said, "How credible is it?" I said, "I trust this guy that called me with my life, and I think it's time you need to get your people, the lead investigators, headed to Washington County." Within the hour, my friend drove Tyler and his parents to my office, where he was greeted by plainclothes detectives. So that was part of the deal. Is Tyler knew it was just inevitable with all the law enforcement pressure that his picture in the news, the gun on the news. He knew it was inevitable that he would be caught. He was fearful of a SWAT team hit on his house, or he was fearful of being shot by law enforcement. So part of the negotiation and getting him to bring himself in was that we would treat it as delicate and as soft as possible to make him feel comfortable to where he would show up at my office. And
Yeah, I mean, doesn't this all make sense right here? All right, guys, we still need 6 more. Can we do it? I don't know. It's just... who resigned a few days ago? This guy? For what reason? Let me guess. You believe he resigned over the Tyler Robinson case. Is that right? Wow. Whoa. Must be related somehow. That's really strange. What possibly? Let's see. His uncle's cousin's dog walker's best friend was an Illuminati. And then, wow, that's incredible. All right, guys, we need 6 more. How come there's people here that almost never support the channel that aren't making us get to that goal tonight? That would be great. Thank you. Jesus, man. You guys got to make it so I can do these other cases from time to time. You know, if not, we're just stuck doing the really popular ones every single night. That was 30 years on the job. Oh, good. Yeah, good for him. He resigned. You can do some fishing now. Yeah, and the thing is, I saw your comment up there, Aaron. I watched Charlie. I didn't watch him every single day, but I watched him. You know, I probably watched 50 of those. You know, when he's interviewing people outside, and I just thought he was really good. You know, really articulate, really strong voice, etc. All right, so you guys, we need 6 more gifted memberships. Okay, that counts as 4 right there. We just need 2 more now. That'd be great. Hey, thanks, Rachel.
That's exactly what happened. So since we weren't...
I want to try to make the goals, even on nights we're not covering the really popular... You know, this one isn't as popular other than the conspiratorial nonsense wackos on Canasones. But if you're just talking about the case, like the way we do it, where we literally just put it all together, people, they're just not as interested in that, which sucks. Hey, thanks. The moon made me do it. You're the honeypot question. It's okay. Oh, jeez. All right. So that got us to almost the goal. I just was going to donate my 5 early just to get something done. You know, it's like we're just... All right, hold on a second. And here we go. Right there. $10. You're genuinely so smart. May I ask in regards to... Sure. Go ahead. What do you mean $10 you're genuinely? I don't get what that means. But yeah, go ahead. Ask me a question. Thank you. All right. Anyways, I'm going to keep playing this.
The lead agency, basically it was about a 2.5 hour waiting in a room, not communicating with the suspect. Our job was not to interview. Our job was just to get him here. So after about 2.5 hours, we ended up getting federal agents and state agents in, and some of my detectives were asked to go out into the community and secure 2 locations. So the parents' home and the apartment that Tyler.
And by the way, welcome up there to Suzanne.
Was living in, along with the vehicle that Tyler was likely driving up at UVU. So that's about it.
Sheriff, how would you characterize that former law enforcement friend of yours as a doing something good here?
Yeah,
I don't
outstanding.
understand,
He deserves full credit. I think that a lot of it's just the community relations, right? So Tyler's family trusted this individual. They knew he was involved in law enforcement at some point, and enough community involvement there that they trusted that they could go to this individual and he could contact me directly, and that we could facilitate a peaceful, calm, relaxed surrender, if put it that way, right? Make him comfortable for a couple hours, make sure he has water, no communication.
All All right. Do you think it's possible scenario as such that one DNA tied had a debt? Well, they haven't identified anybody, and a debt to her, so they killed her, so they wouldn't have to pay her. I guess. I don't know. Hell, anything's possible, I guess.
Until the lead investigators arrived. So.
Sheriff, you mentioned you got a call from a retired detective. What went through your mind in that moment when he told you what was about to happen? How did you negotiate with Tyler or his family?
So
what were your first impressions when?
So shock, right? So I like I said, I couldn't imagine the conversation that occurred in that minute and 41-second conversation. But there was negotiation. There was some criteria that needed to be met for him to voluntarily come in. And I agreed to those terms.
What did he ask for? Can I ask?
He basically for a peaceful, gentle, comfortable transition for him to come out. Again, he knew he was going to get caught. He didn't want a big SWAT team hitting his parents' house or his apartment. He was truly fearful of being shot by law enforcement. So that the conditions were as relaxed and comfortable and almost to the point of inviting. And if at the end of the day we accomplish him surrendering peacefully on his own, I'm gonna make some concessions to make that happen.
And what was his mood when you first saw him?
I would describe it as quiet and somber. So not.
See, this is an interesting one because it really just focuses on almost entirely on Tyler Robinson. Like you get to hear how he was, etc.
Talkative, just no. Go ahead.
There's been reports that this family friend was also potentially a youth pastor or connected through the church. Is that the same person?
No church leadership, just an association through their religious.
Was it somebody in the ward, LDS ward?
Yeah, I would say that, but not in leadership.
Hey, Rachel, we're covering a different case right now, but if you want to ask a question, start over and don't do any abbreviations and type a cogent paragraph or whatever it is. I'll try to do it. If you can't do that, I just can't do it. I don't understand anything you're saying at all. All right. It's
unfortunately, the bishop of that ward has been drug into it because of.
I don't think anybody is mocking you. They just don't know what you're saying. I mean, nobody knows that you have an issue of any kind. You said, yeah, I mean, I kind of already answered your question. Like, did somebody owe somebody some money? And I don't know, anything's possible until we get it solved. Rachel, sorry about that. I don't think anybody was mocking you or anything. I didn't see anybody. Maybe they were, but I just didn't understand what you were typing in. You said, or so debt C and T. Could a family member possibly have an issue with someone? Possibly her son or son-in-law. Someone came to stay with her. Could a family member possibly have an issue with someone? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But we like you here, Rachel. You don't have to take off. Nobody knows that you have a writing thing or an issue or anything.
Some of the media reporting. But that's not accurate. That's not accurate.
Oh, about the bishop.
Yeah, the bishop wasn't involved in this.
You're not releasing the identity.
Right, so there wasn't a bishop. It was a retired sheriff.
If you can speak to it, did the sheriff's office have any interaction with Tyler Robinson in his previous incidents?
I've been asked that a few times, so it's well known. It's in the media. Tyler's apartment was in St. George city limits. The parents' home was in Washington city limits. So since the sheriff's office is primarily patrolling small.
Hey, Wild Bill, if you're already gone to sleep up there, thank you for, being the lull buster again. Appreciate it.
All rural communities, the unincorporated areas of the county. If there were any calls to the residents in St. George City, the highest probability that just St. George City would handle that, not the sheriff's office. So I don't have any data that would support that one way or the other.
Sheriff, have you interviewed his roommate, Robinson's roommate?
No, we're not the lead investigators, so we wouldn't be doing that.
Sheriff, how would you characterize the parents and what you knew that night?
I don't know anything about them.
What did they mention in the phone calls?
No.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the
pretty
fact
shitty
that
world. You got that
this
right, Rachel.
surrender happened as it was in the police office, at the police station, and kind of was peaceful, inviting, as you framed it, and not like a SWAT situation or a big operation that's happening in the neighborhood?
Right. That made him comfortable enough. The conditions were satisfactory to him to where he ended up getting a ride with my friend to be dropped off here. We did have some initial discussion internally. So I run the county jail, and we have to think ahead. So what if Tyler ends up staying the night in our facility? What does that look like? Because of the circumstance, he was driven to Utah County that night, I'm going to say maybe about 2 a.m. So that took that weight off us on how we're going to keep him safe in our facility and talking about constant supervision and things like that. But that didn't occur. So.
How did you feel about that? Having a surrender at the police office versus something else.
Well, obviously it was a big deal. Not only national but international. You're seeing people mourning all over the world for Charlie Kirk, and to have that happen, I've had thoughts and heard comments about, this kind of stuff doesn't happen in Utah. Unfortunately, it did. But then to have the suspect be a Utah resident who literally went to the same high school I went to, we're like 30 years apart, but I went to the same high school. He happened to go to the same high school here in Washington County. So it's a double shock factor that one in Utah, and then the suspect happened to be homegrown Washington County boy. So.
What time did he get here?
It was just before 9 p.m.
And what did you do once he got here? Did you put him in the handcuffs?
No. Nope. Made sure he had water, made him comfortable sitting on a couch in an interview room, and just sat on him until the lead investigators came in.
So his parents didn't say anything at all?
No, not again. That was not our place to ask questions. It was just, we have you here. We're in a holding pattern until the lead investigators get here. So that wouldn't be in our wheelhouse. We wouldn't even have attempted to interview any of them.
Sheriff, can you provide some more details about this detective, a friend of yours, a retired detective? Is he a member of your homicide unit, violent?
He was a detective. For many years. He was a detective. So in our agency, our detectives, like some cities, you have detectives just working homicides or just working sex offenses. Ours is all encompassing whatever case comes next, and you have the smaller caseload. You're going to get whatever case that is.
How long has he been out of the force?
About 3 years.
How grateful are you the fact that this ended the way it did and not in a violent outcome?
Oh, very, very, very much. Like I said, concessions were made to make that happen. So if, again, peaceful surrender, make him comfortable. He's accused of a horrific crime. So it's kind of odd to be in that, again, accused of a horrific crime, but then we are treating him very civilly, very humanely. And that's just part of the job. We do that on a regular basis. Try to make people comfortable so they're relaxed and not bombard them with negativity or a hammer fist or stormtrooper type approach. We wouldn't do that.
Sheriff, how many total phone calls were made between you and the retired detective?
There were several follow-up phone calls that night. One was between my command staff and my friend, just them letting me know, hey, he is in the building. We have him in the interview room, and there's been several follow-ups since then. Just me checking in on him, and
all the way from that first call to say we're here, kind of a phone call.
Correct.
Prior to him turning himself in, did you guys have any clue that maybe he was in the Washington area?
No, not even a hint. And that was part of the shock factor, right? Is he could have been anywhere,
I know it's a cool press conference. I think I played it once at the beginning, but it's like, wow, this one really kind of goes through how it all went down. For those of you who just followed along on tonight's show, unfortunately, there isn't very many people here, but isn't it just the most clear, obvious case you've ever seen? Even like I'm showing you these walkthroughs and everything. It's just absolutely, I'm not sure what else to say.
Most people that are involved or accused of things like that, they'd want to get out of the area as soon as possible. So the fact that he came home basically was part of the shock factor, I think.
You said he was afraid of being shot. What did he say exactly? How did he express that?
Just that.
Any concern for?
It's weird how they're always afraid to be hit themselves, but they went and did something to somebody else. Just like Brian Koberger. Well, I don't want to get the death penalty. Well, you just killed 4 kids.
Yeah, one of his fears of being shot by the police. Period. That's it.
Was your friend that said that, or was
that my friend conveyed that to me through conversation with Tyler's parents.
Any concern for the family and the roommate safety if and when they come back to their home in Washington City or in St. George? Any concerns for them?
No, absolutely. They need to lay low for a long time, unfortunately. So even I'll throw this out there. I have a second cousin with the last name Robinson. He happens to be an optometrist in town. And his office has been receiving threatening phone calls just because of his last name. So to put somebody in that kind of burdensome situation when they had nothing to do with it, no relation to the family, just think.
Why would anybody be harassing the retired sheriff guy? You know, like, what did he do wrong?
About how the actual individuals involved in this incident are feeling right now.
Are you placing any deputies at their house, outside their house, anything like that?
So that's not our area of patrol, so the cities would handle that. If that request came in, but I don't have any insight there.
Sheriff, can you describe the handoff that occurred from Tyler Robinson to the authorities that came down from the north?
Yeah, they parked in my parking lot. Oh wait, the lead investigators. So by the time they were in town, Tyler was sitting in an interview room with his parents when they arrived. So they were already in this building when the lead investigators arrived.
And how did that handoff go down? Was he handcuffed?
No, he was sitting on a very
they just treated him so nice.
Comfortable couch with a water bottle in his hand, not restrained. He was again cooperative, somber, quiet.
Sheriff, since then, what has this whole ordeal been like for your county and your office?
I've all of a sudden received a lot of media requests. So that's what's changed in my world.
So the parents were in the room, in the interrogation room.
Correct. That was part of the negotiation to get him here, is that the parents would be with him when he arrived.
Can you explain the last moments that did they hug? Was mom crying?
I don't have any detail on that. I'm sorry.
And he was turned over to FBI or state?
It's a joint investigation between the FBI and the state of Utah.
All right, if you're out there still, if you want to help support the channel, that'd be great. We're still short of the minimum goal area. I donated to help try to get us somewhere. So we're not too far away though. I think 4 channel memberships would get us to the
primarily
the actual number.
I mean, anytime anything this large scale happens, it's all hands on deck. So we're going to need a lot of just covering the campus and securing the crime scene up north. We've had active shooter incidents down here recently where every law enforcement wearing every uniform in the county is going to go to those types of scenes.
And just to be clear, he was not handcuffed when he was...
Correct, he was not handcuffed.
Did the Sheriff's Department help secure the perimeter?
Office.
Excuse me, thank you. The office, didn't you help secure the perimeter or the...
Yes, so since the lead investigator...
Thanks, Cheryl Annie. Hit that like button and consider subscribing, because you already know that Gray is the shit. Hey, thanks, Rachel. Very kind of you there. Thank you. So we got that one. And then we've got Rachel, the super sticker. Thank you.
Investigators were 3 hours north of us. It took them a while. So that was again, I describe it as an agency assist. We went and just secured the homes. We didn't search the homes. We didn't communicate with anyone within the homes. It was just, we were just locking things down until they arrived.
That was Thursday night?
Yes.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. Wow, that's crazy. Lynn just sent me this. Hold on a second. Look at that. 2nd Airman in F-15 that was shot down over Iran, rescued safely. Can I get a boo? I can't even believe he was still alive. I thought he was dead in the plane, the plane. That's freaking crazy. Man. U.S. forces, I mean, this guy he's going to have a book he's going to be able to write about this. What was he doing for those 2 days now? U.S. forces safely rescued the second F-15 crew member of a 2-seat fighter jet. Man, that is... Oh, man, I almost want to, like, cry or something. It's just so awesome, you know? Fighter jet that went down over Iran Friday. 2 U.S. officials said late Saturday. Details of the rescue were unavailable, but the source said the second airman was pulled from Iran safely, with rescue crews also out of harm's way. He sustained injuries, but he will be just fine, President Donald Trump said on social media. Rescue crews and other special operation forces had been searching for the second airman known as the... I was watching all day to see if I could get an answer for this thing. I mean, that is freaking amazing. God, it's just... It's so important. Man, it's so important. Because now Iran doesn't have a leverage point. If I was Trump right now, I'd just go in there and just obliterate. You know, man, it's just... Iran media published photos alongside claims from Islamic Revolution Guard Corps that it had shot down the F-15. Yeah, so that did happen. This is the first time it appears that U.S. aircraft had gone down. There's 2 of them, the A-10 Warthog, and that was during the rescue mission. But that guy got rescued. Man, that's freaking incredible. Yeah, that's just, I'm like happy as hell right now. Is there any information on this? This just happened, right? When did you send me that? 9:51. Yeah, just 3 minutes ago she sent me this email. Oh wait, no, so New York Times had it, or the New York Post, I mean. Successfully rescued, Truth Social, right? Ah, man, look at this. We got him! This is freaking amazing. My fellow Americans, over the past several hours, the United States military, they must have had a transponder or something on him, right? Pulled off one of the most daring search and rescue operations in U.S. history for one of our incredible crew member officers who also happened to be highly respected colonel, and who I am thrilled to let you know is now safe and sound. This brave warrior was behind enemy lines in the treacherous mountains of Iran, being hunted down. I mean, this is going to be a story, man. By our enemies who were getting closer and closer by the hour, but was never truly alone. I was just thinking they would just take out any people that were approaching an area. Wow. But was never truly alone because his commander-in-chief, Secretary of War, Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and fellow warfighters were monitoring his location 24 hours a day. So they knew where he was, and diligently planning for his rescue. At my direction, the U.S. military sent dozens of aircraft armed with the most lethal weapons in the world to retrieve him. He sustained injuries, but he will be just fine. The miraculous search and rescue operation comes in addition to a successful rescue of another brave pilot yesterday, which we did not confirm because we did not want to jeopardize our second rescue operation. Well, it seemed like the media confirmed it, though. This is the first time in military memory that 2 U.S. pilots have been rescued separately deep in enemy territory. We will never leave an American warfighter behind. The fact that we were able to pull off both of these operations without a single American killed or even wounded just proves once again that we have achieved overwhelming air dominance and superiority over the Iranian skies. And that's just absolutely true, right? Because if they really did have this secret little weapon, they would have just blown them. They would have shot down the rescue people, right? They weren't able to do that. They got lucky on one. They probably had a heat-seeking missile. This is a moment that all Americans, Republicans, Democrats, and everyone else should be proud of and united around. We truly have the best, most professional and lethal military in the history of the world. God bless America, God bless our troops, and happy Easter to all. We will never leave an American warfighter behind. The fact that we were able to, so complete overwhelming air dominance and superiority over Iranian skies. This is a moment that all Americans, Republicans, Democrats, and everyone should be proud. Man, how cool is that? I just checked my email really quick there, and that's just freaking amazing. Oh, man. Woo! Oh, yeah? Jeez, Rachel, that's crazy. All right. Man, that's freaking amazing. Let's see. So this is a really long video here. I don't know which one this one is. Let's see. Let me go all the way to the 14th. The 14th had some cool stuff. Let's see this one. Hold on. Yeah, so this is my drone right here. Oh yeah, I flew it. Look at what I did. See, look how cool this is. Watch this. See, I have this new drone now, and it's 360. So this one I attached a 360 drone. So can you see us over there? That's actually Tyler Robinson was right here. Look at this. I don't think I've ever shown it like this before. See that right there? He was laying down right there. And then he got up and he ran across and he merely went to right there. And then he shot. I mean, isn't that just a great way to look at that? He just ran from right there and then he just went to there. Boom. And then after that, he got up and ran, and remember how we saw him behind the building there? And he ran around and then jumped off over there. That's crazy, isn't it? I don't think I went out quite as far as I wanted to. I don't think I was getting nervous. But anyways, it's just right there. That is where the shot took place. Right here. I mean, look at that. I mean, I almost have the angle. You know, the tent was right down there. You just slide over right to there. That's why he kind of crouched down. And then that other area where he was filmed from was right down there. Right there, that somebody filmed him when he got to the edge right there. Man, that's... Yeah, so there you go. There you have it. This is my X2. So I have a drone now that I just bought. It's a miniature drone. That so this is made by Insta360 X2, X5 actually. That's what I have on top of this drone right here. But then Insta360 worked with a drone company and still has an 8K drone. But you know how you see the propellers and everything right here? You can't. It literally looks like you're in a sphere flying around. It's absolutely crazy. I haven't flown it yet, but I've watched videos and whatnot. So there you go. And so then after he was right there, right? I mean, then he ran this direction, exactly where my drone's going. So imagine he started right over there, and now he's over here. And he ran right behind this building. I think I kind of was nervous about, looked like there was wires or something there, so I slowed down a little bit. Wasn't sure, but he ran right behind here. And then when you see him, it looks like he's just kind of running like this, but look how far he really went around and went like that. And then he went onto this white space over here. So it's kind of interesting just to see the actual, like if we go back to the beginning of this. So see over here, there's actually quite a long space there. And then he runs over to that white area there. See that? Now that's exactly what we're looking at in here. See, he just ran by right there to this white area here. And the camera that you see in that last video is right there. That white thing right there, that's the camera, 360-degree camera. And then this is where he jumped off the roof right here. You know, I wish I had pulled forward a little bit. Then you could look down. Well, thanks, Cheryl. Oh, wait. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. We do have it. God dang it. Stop it. Oh, this is crazy. You can see the damn fingerprints on this one. Look at it right there. Can I get a boom chakalaka? I don't think I ever remember looking at this for that one. Look at that. There's Tyler Robinson's fingerprints as he was. So they got his DNA right here. And there it is. The other parts right there. That is awesome. I didn't realize I picked that up. Let's see. Do I go a little bit right there? Oh, look at that. Perfect. I don't know what that smudge is there, though. I don't remember that one. I didn't realize that was there, but he came down right over here. This is exactly where he was in the video. Let's go back to that. So watch this. Watch this. Now look at right there. See his left hand is right there? Let me make it back out a little bit. So his hand's on the roof, and then it drops to right there. He holds himself for just a second, and then right there, he's got his hand on the roof, and then he drops on that little ledge area. See, first it's way up above, right? And then right now, he moves it to that secondary ledge, and then he jumps, boom, like that. Now look where it is. See this window right there? It's halfway between that. So now let's go to the drone here, and you can see it. Let's see if it flies a little bit better. Right, there it is. God, it's so perfect. That's a perfect angle right there. See that little window splitter right there? See that? So if you follow that straight up, you know, so it would probably go like this and then up about right into this area. There's where the hand is. Now watch where the hand is on this video. See, there's that little the splitter of the window would be right in there, and his hand's right there, just to the right of that. Boom, and he drops off. So that's exactly where that was. And then it's interesting too, because watch this. So when he comes down, see his right foot there? See how it's up on the ledge right there? His right foot's on the ledge there. And then his left hand comes down. Now it's on the ledge. So if we go back to the drone footage again. I don't know if I can just scroll it, but you can see where right there. Right there. Right there. There we go. Right here is where that foot was on there, sliding off, and this is where his hand was. Isn't that amazing? And I think on this ledge right here, they have the Converse, Chuck Taylor shoe impression on that ledge at some point. Can I get a boom shakalaka? Come on, that's got to be worth some super chats, you guys. You got to admit, like that's that is some absolutely. All right, man. I didn't realize I caught that on there. Man, I could have seen that. I don't know what that mark is. That's probably somebody that went up there. But you can still see it way over here. Look at that. Actually, I think that might be the foot. There's like, it just slides off, and then this might have been the backpack. So I think this mark over here is, let's see if I can use my pen. I think this is where the foot was. This is the backpack area. This is his hand right there. Yeah, and then from right here he just ran. He ran up like this, and then across, and then went over the street over there. I don't think anybody else has any of this. I know this is it's an interesting case. It's just you still out there, Aaron? I want to make sure I show everything. Yeah, so he was just right there. So this is Paramount Tactical right there. That's me. And then he had a drone guy there, and then there was this guy. Yeah, and those are the steps he would have came up. The drop, it was, you still there, Rachel? It was about, I think it's like 10 feet from where his feet were when he put him down. You know, he's a pretty light guy. He's skinny, you know, like Gilligan or somebody. See, right there. Boom. Chakalaka. All right. Anyways, got that one. Okay, let's try this one. Oh yeah, so there's Paramount Tactical. So this is when we got the shot of where the so back here, this is the spot where there's somebody that was filming Tyler Robinson running around along the roof and laying down right there. It's exactly this shot. Let's see. It's this one. Oh yeah, so this is behind. I got like a pretty creative situation that I did here. So I was trying to get the angle of where like Charlie Kirk was shot. So I put it on a long pole over here. I think right around, yeah, right there. There we go. Yeah. So right in this area is kind of the angle that he was shot at, because he was right here. And then look up there, you can see the top of the Losi Center building. So that's where the shot came in, I think. Let's see. What would it look like over here? Yeah, see, that's the top of that building right there. It's just right there. So that's what you see in that shot. So he shot from right there, Charlie Kirk. Isn't that wild? Crazy. But I don't know. Have you ever seen anybody with this kind of stuff, Aaron? I mean, come on. The rest of them don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, Paramount does, but I'm talking about the conspiracy nutters. I do too, Aaron. I wish everybody could see it. But maybe it comes down to all of you guys. Like when I'm doing this stuff, you know, people need to say, man, you got to go see this, you know. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's like the perfect sentence. Look at that. I wish I could be forced to watch. I wish the world could be forced to watch how you covered this Bunch of headline reading wackadoodles out there. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad times. So I think that's a pretty good shot right there. Yeah, let's see, that was that one. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, I was just walking around. Yeah. This is up where that Bartholomew video is, right up here. And it's so close. He was so close. Bartholomew's video just, I mean, my God, if he was just in a maybe 50 feet to the right or something, he could have filmed the shooter itself. See, because the shooter is right up there. It's you know, I gotta tell you, it's pretty bizarre. He picked this spot that there's only this little window from where he shot from that actually works. You know, because you can't see the building from over here. But over there you could. And so Bartholomew was right around in here. This is where he was interviewing. Let's see if we can check out and find the exact spot here. Okay, this is Bartholomew. So we can tell by looking at the mountain range. So see the tree right there, and then the mountain range, and you know the way that is. That mountain's right there. So let's see what we got in 360. All right. So I think we need to go back a little bit further the other direction. Hold on. So Bartholomew he was closer to this. So if you look at that, let's go look at that again. Yeah, so let's say the side of that sloping up would go right to that little dip right there. That's a little bit back again. No, it's this way, I mean. Oh, almost right there. Hold on. Ah, a little bit before that. Right there. That's pretty much the exact angle. See that? So see that little, the tree there, it kind of goes right up in that little dip there. And we go to this one, and there's the tree going right into that little dip. So there you go. Boom. That's the exact shot right there. And so that means those kids were standing about right here. And the shooting is like right over the building there. It's crazy. I think if you're over, yeah, right there. See, the shooting took place from the top of that building. But then as soon as you go a little bit around over here, you start losing it. So he's very close. I mean, it's like it feels like you should be able to see the head of the person running in the Bartholomew video. Right back in there. But you can't.
What was that?
Like you want to just look right in there and hope and think you could see. That's about the only option you'd have is right there. So let's see.
What was that?
Ah. Yeah. Can't see any. Let's just. Yeah, you can't see anything there. Ah, man, it's so close. So close. Let's try this really long one here. Maybe this will be the last one that I show here. Look at that face. Jesus. I'm not even sure why I'm... Oh, wait. This isn't a good one. This is when I put it on top of the car and drove around. It's pretty cool, though, isn't it? Look at that. Isn't that amazing, this technology? Look at that. Hey, everybody. I mean, cops should have this on their vehicle so they could check later and look at something. What do you think? Look at that. Boom. You know? Yeah. Let's see. Go down here. Oh yeah, I went to various, where is this? Man, I didn't shave or anything. It looked like a... So this is the final walkway here. This is where, I think this is... Yeah, he came running back from behind there. This is the original TMZ house video. And then the second TMZ is this one right over. The next one was that house right there, where you got the 2 Tyler Robinson videos. And so I'm doing the whole walk. I just came across that little bridge thing, came down. Now on this one, I think I put the 360-degree camera right up on it. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So there we go. Boom. Right there. Now look at the camera is right above. I mean, I literally put the camera right underneath it. All right. So look at that shot right there is absolutely the same shot that we have in this one. See this? This is just cropped. They cropped the hell out of this thing. But look at that. Watch. See, that's it. There's the rail. His that right hand is right next to, right there. It's right here on that. Watch. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Let me go back a little bit. So he's only on the second. 1, 2. Yeah, he's at his third down. Yeah, so I think this right here. Like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then that. So it's just a slightly different angle. Like he probably... You know, they went like, I don't know, they could be like this. It's a little steeper. So when you start rotating it around, see like this vertical line right there? If you move it way over to the left, it starts angling a lot more. But then if you go like that, it's straight. Alright, so then you go through the tunnel, and then you'll be able to see this one better even. Yeah, here we go. Now that's when I was walking through. Let me go back to right here. So I put it right underneath it. There's the camera. And there you go. See, that's the shot. That's what it looks like on this one. Right here, watch. Boom. See this? That one right there is right over here. And we've already shown which one. I think it was, he's standing about right there. And he's going to go around this corner. Right, then we go back to this. And then you go up that stairs right there. See that? That's all he did. He walked down this tunnel. There's the... Oh, I did my walking in it. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see. Right. Hey, everybody. Oh, jeez. Anyways, right over here. Came walking. He came walking up these stairs right after going through the tunnel. And then I put the camera right below this one right here. All right. Boom. Just like that. Now look. This is what they have This exact shot right here. This whole thing. This is what they get a look at. And that one is this. See that? It's right there. And now it really looks similar. There's the garbage can here. That's right there. Yeah, well, I always show that. I've already shown all this stuff a million times, even with me in it. I don't need to cut it. That's just what I look like. Yeah, so I'm going to go down the stairs here. I'm going to pretend to be Tyler walking up. See, look. There it is. There's the spot. Here, let's go back a little bit. Let's see if that's about the same. See, right there. Look. Same spot. And I go up. I mean, I'm old, you guys. And then you go up the stairs. See, he went just like that, right? So if we go back a little bit. Is it right about right there, right? I mean, that's kind of like how he was walking, right? Let's see. 1, 2. Just like that. Right there. See? I mean, it's identical. I mean, it's exactly the same shot. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. Got that one. Well, I think that's going to do it, you guys. I'll save some stuff. We'll just go over all the stuff, but we're going to do like a simulcast on Paramount Tactical on Tuesday. So I'll be doing my show, he'll be doing his show, and we'll just be going over all this stuff together. All right? Awesome. Yeah. I'm old, you guys. I'm old. Where is this coming from? What folder is this in? Okay, it's under Insta360. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. Alright, you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll say thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. Yeah, special thanks to Aaron and Wild Bill Wassman. Per usual, for Wild Bill. Anyways, thanks everybody. Let's see. We've got Alley Cake, Betty Black, Wild Bill Wassman, Sus F, and then Betty Black gifted a membership. Then Wild Bill Wassman, then Michael. Then we had Alley Cake. Then Wild Bill Wassman. Then Aaron. Thank you. Then Michelle. Michael again. Jesus, my brain. And then Wild Bill Wassman. Then SH third something. Then Wild Bill Wassman. Then Aaron gifted 5. I guess he did a challenge there. Then Richard Watts, then Wild Bill Wassman, Alley Cake, Stephen Connerly, Jessica Schubach, Aaron Sayers, gifted 1, then The Moon Made Me Do It, then Aaron Sayers again, then Citizen E, The Moon Made Me Do It. Did I say the mom? And then Vivian Forensica, Shadowwise, Wild Bill Wassman, Aaron Sayers, Vivian, Wild Bill again, Aaron, Vivian, Aaron, Wild Bill, Aaron, Jessica Schubach, Lisa way less. And Lisa did a buy me a coffee too. And Susan, Marcella, Rachel, the mood made me do it. And then Rachel, then I gifted 5, then Cheryl Ann and Rachel. All right. Thanks, everybody. We just kind of barely got in there tonight, but can't have every night perfect, but it was cool to reach the goal with only 150 people. Yeah, so I hope you guys got something out of today's show. At least it was pretty good. Like, now I remember everything again. It all came back to me anyways while we were doing it, but pretty cool, pretty cool. All right. So thank you all very much for being here, supporting the channel. And you guys are awesome. Wish we could somehow get more people here, but yeah. I don't know. Some cases, at the beginning of this case, I had a lot of people watching. And then in the case of, I think the problem is all the news channel people that have video channels now, YouTube pumps them. All of those people, like the Ashley Banfields, the Entons, and there's so many of these people that have they were news people, now they're YouTube channels, and they just send everything over there, and it's hard to get a foothold on something. You have to kind of just get a niche. I don't know. And I sort of, if you step away from covering Nancy Guthrie for a couple days, they take you immediately out of the algorithm and put somebody else, like there's nothing. So at the beginning I was getting views, and then it just went, right. Ding 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 ding. Comments the other night, Lisa, when you said, I found Gray's channel and never left. I like that one. That was nice. I saw that. That's cool. I'm glad you guys are guilty of that. Thank you. All right. Hey, see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Maybe I'll do the rap. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Ray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Who'll deflector, interceptor. Enemy a little spreader with a vector on his vector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a total fucking injection. I have no agenda, I'm a pretender, and I'll send it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, and common sense, which isn't very common anymore. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, be safe out there.
Evil can never be dead enough.